Your Speaking Matters, hosted by Rick and Carol Durling. Your Speaking Matters is focused on demonstrating skills and techniques to help you transform your fear of public speaking into a skill set that opens doors to new opportunities. Each episode of this podcast unravels the secrets of effective communication through engaging conversations and expert tips. In this episode, we are going to interview Anita Kowalski, a 15-year member of Confident Communicators Club. Anita has taken on so many different roles within Confident Communicators, it's hard for me to even cover two of them, but I'm going to do two. One is she is our webmaster. She takes care of our face to the world on our Facebook or our website. She is also one of the best evaluators in Confident Communicators. You can be certain when Anita evaluates your speech that not only are you going to get an evaluation that is upbeat and positive, but she's going to give you ideas for you to explore in your next speech. Anita, thank you for being here today. How are you today?
I am well. How are you?
I am absolutely peachy. Life is good. And
how is Carol?
I am happily. I'm doing very well.
Well, we've already covered the first thing I wanted to ask you. How long have you been in Toastmasters? It's about 15 years, right?
Correct.
Okay. So that's quite a long time. So that gives me two directions to go here. The first one is, what motivated you to join Confident Communicators in the first place?
I discovered after 3 failed job interviews that the common problem was me. And I knew I needed to learn public speaking because after they asked me the question, so tell me a little bit about yourself, I talked for 20 minutes. I don't remember what about, but I was overwhelmed and they were overwhelmed. I think I started from birth to high school, and that's not what you want in a job interview. So I joined Toastmasters for that reason, because I needed to learn public speaking.
Well, you've been in Toastmasters now for 15 years. You obviously had a really sound reason to get involved. What's the most valuable skill that you've picked up out of Confident Communicators?
The most valuable skill is the one they don't tell you about, and that is the impromptu speaking. People say it that, when you're asked a question by your boss and you need to hurry up and formulate an answer, or the elevator speech where you get on elevator with somebody who you can pitch your idea to. That is the one skill that I didn't realize that I need, and I got to practice and fail at inside of our club in a safe environment, is learning how to speak off the cuff when you're asked a question of, so what do you think about that presentation? And you didn't know that it is, the boss's best friend who gave that presentation. So you need to learn how to be diplomatic in your answer. That is the one skill that I was very surprised that I needed to learn, and was glad that I could learn it and practice and fall down inside of our Toastmaster Club.
And I absolutely am right there with you, and I think Carol as well. As a matter of fact, I'm the topics master on the next upcoming meeting. So the only problem with that is I don't get to actually answer a table topics question. But I really enjoy that part of the whole experience in Toastmasters, is getting asked a question like, what's your favorite ice cream? And then having to explain that for 1.5 to 2 minutes. That to me is one of the most interesting things. Now, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a left turn on you, and you can decline the answer if you want, but I suspect you can answer this one in your sleep.
Okay. What is
You
it?
are definitely one of the best evaluators. I think
Thank
I
you.
speak from having you evaluate me on many occasions. Can you give any insight into what you're looking at as you listen to people, just in general, how you go about crafting the evaluations that you pull together? Because your evaluations are always on point. So I suspect you have a process or something that you just kind of use as your framework to keep an eye on what's going on. Can you address that?
Oh, yes. When I first started, nobody guided me toward evaluations or what to do. They just said, you need to give feedback. You can't give a overall, oh, it was good, because that does nothing for anyone in the club. When you give an evaluation, you're helping not only the speaker, but everyone listening in the club how to give their speeches better, which I thought was, it's not intuitive. How is it that you're speaking to one person about their speech, and yet it's supposed to affect 20 other people? And then I finally started to see the genius that is Toastmasters is you're helping more people by saying and giving concrete examples of when you said it like this, you lost power in your voice. That way when the 20 other people hear that, they'll be like, do I lose power in my voice when I do that too? And just to give a set example, but also to give and to demonstrate what you mean. And that came across with my first 3 evaluations for my first 3 speeches. When they would say, have more volume in your speech. That really doesn't tell me what you mean and what to do. I'm like, yes, I can speak loud for 5 minutes, but you didn't tell me when to speak loud and for what reason, and you didn't demonstrate it. So therefore, once I started incorporating demonstrate the example of what you want to see in that speech, which is the overall theme. When I look at it, I'm like, how would I give this speech if I was the speaker? So when I'm watching the speaker and evaluating them, I'm like, oh, well, if they had done it this way, it would have been stronger, and that's what I write down. So it's putting yourselves in their shoes. How would I have done it? And then I demonstrate it, because that's what I want done for me. Is if you're telling me just to speak louder, but when should I speak louder? When should I speak softer? And it turns out that you also need to volume, not just volume, but the rate of your speech. Slow down during the important parts. Speed up when you need to hurry up and get everyone's attention because people are falling asleep. But if nobody demonstrates that for you and says when to do it during your 5 to 7 minute speech, you won't understand it like I didn't understand it for the first year of Toastmasters. I hope that answers your question.
I think it did. But I'm going to continue to play with this, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
The
I don't mind at all.
It occurs to me that because I'm engaged a lot with Pathways, the Pathways provides us with evaluation guides. And they often say, evaluate the person on vocal variety, facial expressions, pacing, and lots of other things. Body language certainly comes into the play. And I find it fascinating and wonder if that has been, because that's kind of new, those focus items that they give us in the evaluation criteria. If those have really helped, given your experience, because you clearly realized early on, long before I even figured it out, that giving an example to help people understand what's going on is really a key to a good evaluation. So, do you think Pathways has helped with focus items that we can help people when we're doing evaluations for people giving a speech?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Because it seems like there's so many things for you to focus on. You're like, I have to watch their body language. Now I have to watch their facial expressions. When you start realizing, I forgot whose speech it was, that their facial expression did not match what was coming out of their mouth. And I had to remind them that you need to have if you're happy, your facial expression has to be happy. If you're sad, your facial expression has to be sad, along with your voice, along with the point that you were making, because it was during they were making a strong point at the end, but they had to slow down. But their facial expression was just the same throughout the whole thing. And I had to tell them, please, next time you give this speech, give it better. Because that is my focus, is no matter whose speech it is that I assume that they're going to be giving it on camera. They're going to be giving it to a person in power in order to change something about wetlands or our water supply, etc. That they're going to be taking this speech and they're going to be giving it again, and this is how to do it better. I hope that answers the question.
That's why I like evaluations so much, because you focus on what a person can try the next time. How can it make it better, more powerful, more acceptable? And that's how we all learn, is the next time we get to try it.
Yes.
I really find evaluations on that, and everything you're saying, it answered the question perfectly.
Wonderful. Good.
Evaluations really are the key, because as long as they're upbeat, positive, and not, in Toastmasters we absolutely try to make sure nobody does the negative things. Oh, that was terrible. No speech is terrible. What has happened is they put their heart into it, and now you want to help them take it from that to the next level. And everything you've just described is exactly that process of helping the person, and I like calling it climb the ladder. Climb the ladder of vocal and speaking skills until you've mastered some of them, and in my case, I've not mastered very many of them, but nevertheless. And I know one of the things that I get evaluated on quite often, and I hope I'm doing okay today, is I don't smile enough. So your point about actually giving a speech, and okay, you're going to do something that is sad, and your face is all happy, and it's, oh yeah, my dog died, it's really sad, okay, the face is not matching the emotion that you're putting forth.
Right.
And helping people understand that when you do something, you really do need to take the emotion and put it into your hands, into your body, not only into your voice. Because
Correct.
if you're looking happy and telling something sad, or conversely, you're telling something happy and looking angry or sad, it just doesn't work.
Correct. Correct.
And those are the kinds of skills that I really find, in my case, I constantly get to practice them. I don't know about the two of you, but that's one of the things I am always practicing. I look forward to giving a speech to try out things I never did before.
Correct. Correct.
So it's just absolutely a blast in that respect.
Yeah. When somebody said, "Oh, you need to make bigger arm gestures," and I'm like, "This is big for me. Getting my hands away from my shoulders was a big, stepping outside my comfort zone." And then when somebody demonstrated it, they wanted me to stretch my arms out like I'm a pterodactyl. And I went, that's too far outside my comfort zone. So I got to here and I was comfortable, and then I went and spread my arms wide. And that's what they wanted. So it was, you need to demonstrate what you mean by spread your arms wide.
Mm-hmm.
You need to demonstrate, be the example.
Be the example.
Be the example.
It's really awesome. So another question for you. What is the most rewarding aspect of being in Confident Communicators to you?
It is seeing a lot of people going forward in their jobs, in their hobbies, in what they want to pursue, seeing Toastmasters help them with promotion in their job, seeing people in their state legislature go up to congressional legislature, seeing them take their nonprofit and start speaking, and they wanted to help more and more and more people, and seeing them do that on their platform, and that was from Toastmasters, that they learned confidence in speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my reward that I get to see and I love.
I find for the same reasons, I really like seeing people develop skills and develop confidence. Confidence that plays out not only when they're speaking in a group setting, sitting at the family table, for instance, all of a sudden somebody is much more confident in making statements to their family. But it applies even when you're out and about, just saying hello to the person who's checking you in. You're more confident, and that confidence radiates off of people. And
Sure.
having those skills to be able to do that, yeah, I think that's hugely valuable. Carol, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, I do. I definitely have increased in confidence, and I've seen every member of our club increase in confidence over time. This continual practice, and that's the thing. People join Toastmasters and they think the change will be instant. That's not how it works. But by practicing, we call it a sandbox, our meetings. It's a chance for you to try different skills out. And because you're trying the different skills out, over time you get better and better and better. If I practiced the piano every day, I would get better at it. Well, we are an instrument. Our voice, how we gesture, the whole thing put together, we're an instrument. And how do you get better at it? You practice. I found when I gave maybe my fifth speech, it was a big transformation, huge difference. And it just took little by little over like three or 4 months to get to a point where I'm saying, okay, I see the difference in myself. It's marvelous.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Well, I think we're getting close to our time here, so I'm going to ask you one of my favorite questions. Are there
Okay.
any other
What is it?
remarks you'd like to make about your Toastmasters experience?
Obviously, my reason for joining Toastmasters was to pass job interviews, and I have since then. So that is my first goal, and it was upon Toastmasters and reading all the projects that you can work toward that I discovered that, oh, I do want to be able to speak on camera after seeing people in Detroit Metro Airport, and this is the day before Thanksgiving, and the reporter was just asking them, where are you going? Where are you flying to? And 2 out of the 3 people could not answer and it's only a 5-second window. They only have 5 seconds of time. So one person who obviously was confident on camera could answer, we're going to such and such to see my sister and hers, and I can't wait to see her. That was it. That's 5 seconds. That's all you had to say. But 2 out of the 3 people could not say where they were flying to, which I thought, that's it. I want to have that confidence. I saw somebody who can do it, and I want to be that person. So that's my goal. That's why I keep going into Toastmasters. I keep practicing, even if it's, just that little 5-second answer. So I can be confident on camera when there's a microphone shoved in my face of, where are you flying to? So.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for participating in this, our technically first podcast for Your Speaking Matters. I think we've had an absolutely entertaining day today talking about your experiences, and we even spent some time talking about evaluations, which I think is a so important thing.
True. Thank you for having me.
I do want to take a moment before we close out the podcast to take a shout out to some friends of mine. Barb's Tea Service is a podcast that I encourage everybody to listen to. She does an absolutely outstanding job. And between Barb and Chris, they're a working pair just like Carol and I. They absolutely are the reason that Carol and I have started this whole podcast series. So thank you, Barb and Chris. And with that, I think I'm beginning to hear the music that suggests that we are about to wrap up. Again, thank you, Anita, for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Thanks, Barbara and Chris.
Yes.